I don't think I'm going to go live on. See if you can find a place where the hands can relax in your lap, allowing the shoulders to release. Let's just focus on those shoulders for a moment, seeing if the shoulders can sink down the back of the spine, allowing the arms to feel a little more relaxed. Feel the neck releasing. And slowly trying to expand your breath a little. So increasing the inhale, letting the belly soften, letting the chest open. And then a long, slow exhale, only focusing on letting the air exhale slowly, 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 slowly. And then a deep, beautiful, big inhale. Long, slow exhale. Deep, open inhale. Long, slow exhale. We're slowly going to come into a cat-cow while you're breathing. So as you inhale, lift and open the chest. As you exhale, squeeze the belly into the spine and push the spine, rounding the back. Just a nice slow one again, just to feel the movement. Inhale, soften the shoulders down the back. Exhale, lift the belly into the spine, trying to find those muscles at the front of the spine to push the spine all the way back. Exhale. We're going to do 5 of those a little quicker. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, and 2 more. Inhale, really trying to find your belly as you push the spine and round the back. Inhale, finding the length through the front of the body. Last exhale, and lifting up, coming to straight again. Then we're just going to lift your right arm up and over, lengthening through the right side. Lifting the left side, I'll mirror you, lift the left side in towards that right side. And then gently coming up and over to the other side. So focusing on just getting a little bit of length through that side of the body, lifting the bottom side in and up, just creating some space, nice deep breath. And then coming all the way back again. And then we're going to do the same thing again, but you're going to undo your legs and cross them the other way, holding onto the shins, coming into a cat-cow. Inhale, nice and slow. Exhale, see if you can find every muscle at the front of the spine to round the back, drop the chin, exhale. Try to draw your belly into your spine. A slow one again, inhale. Seeing the length in the spine, slide the shoulder blades down the back. Finding the muscles at the front of the spine, exhale. Really scooping that belly into the spine. And then we'll do 5 of those a little quicker. Inhale, really try and fire up the core. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. 2 more, inhale, exhale. Last one, inhale and exhale. And inhale, reach the arms overhead. And then practice here, just sending the sit bones into the earth, scooping the belly and lengthening the sides of the waist, really trying to reach the spine away from the earth, but still rooting the sit bones down. And then notice if the shoulders are doing all the work. Try to soften the shoulders, allowing the shoulders to release down the back. So all the work happens close to the spine, lifting and lengthening the sides of the waist. Take a deep breath. And then we're going to spiral to the side. Really finding those muscles close to your spine. Trying to turn off the muscles at the front of the leg, scooping the belly, spiraling the spine, and coming back again. Take a deep breath here. Try and release the shoulders. And then press the sit bones, lift and lengthen, spiral to the other side. Finding those core muscles to spiral the spine. And then coming back to center again. We're going to drop the hands in front of you. So we're moving straight into core today. So we're going to do 2 of those cat-cows, 2 cat-cows. Inhale, open the heart. Exhale, round the back. And then as you inhale, you're going to come up, squeeze the knees, and come into a boat pose. So your version of boat pose, either the feet on the floor and the hands, lengthening the sit bones towards the heels, lengthening the sides of the waist, scooping the belly, taking deep breaths, or lifting the legs up. Or if you want to have that straight leg, scoop the belly, lengthen the sides of the waist, take a nice deep breath. And then exhale, cross the legs the other way and do a nice little cat-cow. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale, squeeze the knees up, coming back into a boat pose. So here we're just testing which one you want to do. Find one where your core is working, where you're not battling with your back or needing too much help to balance. Rather keep the feet on the floor, keep the back nice and stable, and really work your belly in and up, finding that core action. So working where it's best for you, where you're creating strength, but you're not damaging anything. Take a nice deep breath. And then again, cross the legs, and this time we're going to lean a little forward. So reaching forward, checking again with the lower back, scoop the belly into the spine. As you exhale, we're going to bring the shoulders above the hips and squeeze the fists, drawing the knees up, maybe the feet come up. So we're going to do 4 of those. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, scoop the belly, squeeze the knees, lift. Inhale, reach. Exhale, press the sit bones, scoop the belly, squeeze. Inhale, 2 more. Exhale. And inhale. Exhale. Find that sit bone scoop, squeeze the knees, find the belly, and then do one last one. And you guys know where we're going, coming up into that boat pose again. But scoop your belly, lift the legs, and reach into that boat pose. Really work this now. Squeeze the inner thighs. Squeeze the sit bones as you send them forward, lengthening the sides of the waist, scoop the belly. Nice deep breath, and then cross the legs the other way. And then again, coming into a little forward bend, just feel how your lower back feels here. Lengthening, just checking in with your technique here. So press the sit bones, scoop the belly. Use the front of the body to pull the shoulders above the waist, lifting the knees, maybe the feet. Find that belly squeeze. So 4 of those. Inhale. Sit bones, scoop the belly, squeeze the knees. Exhale. Inhale. Sit bones, scoop the belly, squeeze the knees. Full exhale. Good. Inhale. 2 more. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, and we go up into that boat pose. Inhale. And exhale, unwinding the legs, coming into your version of boat pose. Scoop the belly in and up. Keep trying to find more core action to support this shape. Relaxing the shoulders, lengthening the sides of the waist, sending the sit bones forward. And then from here, we're going to cross the legs, tuck them under the bum, and come up and over onto all 4s. You can scooch the legs to the side if that's better. We're going to squeeze the right shoulder and the right hip towards each other, just coming into a little side bend. Come back to center and do the same on the other side. So squeezing the same shoulders, same hip towards each other, and coming back to center. Just open the knees a little bit and send the hips back to a child's pose, just checking in with this pose for you today. See how your hips feel, sway from side to side. And then squeeze your sit bones and scoop your belly and see if the spine releases up and over the mat, releasing to the floor. So check in here with yourself that this pose is restful for you. You might need to quickly get up and maybe grab a cushion or a pillow to shove under the back of the thighs, or even to support your head. So make sure that this pose is feeling comfy so that you have a place to go at any time that you need to back off, take a breather, look after yourself. Okay, beautiful. Good, so I'm seeing some cushions being grabbed. Great. Okay, nice deep breath. Take this pose to feel that outer back, taking a nice deep breath. So as you breathe, feeling your back expanding. As you exhale, squeeze the sit bones, scoop the belly, and see if the spine releases up and over. And then coming back up to all fours. Okay, so today we're going to give you options. You can choose to reach the right arm and lift the left leg and squeeze the knee into the chest. We'll do 5 of those on each side. Or if you've been doing this for a long time, you could maybe try to do one with the plank. So you're going to squeeze your knee in and lift the leg back and squeeze the knee in and lift the leg back. So your choice, either on the knee, squeeze, or in the plank, squeeze. So doesn't matter which one you choose. Choose wisely for yourself. So inhale, lengthening the leg behind. Exhale, lengthen tailbone, scoop the knee. Exhale. Inhale, reach. Exhale. Inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, make that knee come as close to you as possible. Inhale, reach. Exhale. And last one, inhale, reach. And exhale. Lengthen the body before placing the foot down and the hand. And then coming on to the other side. Reaching the left hand up, right leg back, or you're in your plank. Squeezing the knee into the chest. Inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, make yourself nice and small. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, squeeze. 2 more. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And one last lengthen before placing that hand and knee on the floor. You might want to go down to child's pose or just take 2 cat-cows here. So inhale, exhale, lengthen tailbone, scoop the belly in and up, really pushing the front of the body up into the spine. Inhale, opening, lengthening through the front of the body. Exhale, lengthen tailbone, scoop the belly, rounding the back. And inhale here. So now we're going to all push back to child's pose. Press the hips back to the heels. As you inhale, come up and arch the back. 2 more of those. Squeeze the belly into the hips. Squeeze the sit bones as you push yourself back. And inhale, wave up into a nice little back bend. Exhale, scoop the belly, push the hips back. And inhale, coming all the way up. So now we're going to do the same to the downward dog. So tuck the toes, squeeze the belly, squeeze the sit bones, and kick the hips up. And then lift the heels and come back down into tabletop. Press the hips back, scooping the belly, lifting nice and slow, maybe straightening the legs. Lift the heels, bend the knees slowly back down. And one more. Lift the hips, squeeze the belly in towards the spine, straighten the legs, lift the heels, drop the knees. And then we're going to go up into your downward dog. Press the hands into the earth, send the spine long, so hips go over the back of the mat, or as far towards the heels as possible. And then seeing if there's a straighten in the legs. Keep your belly nice and scooped, lifting the hips and pushing them back, getting that length in the spine. All right, so you can either hang out here or in tabletop, depending entirely on how you're feeling. Remember to work at a level that serves you. So you want to be challenging yourself, you want to be working and developing strength, but you also need to notice if you need to back off and be patient with yourself. All right, so let's all drop down to child's pose. I'm seeing a lot of coming down, so let's just go down for a second, take a nice deep breath. So while you're breathing in child's pose, again, feel the back of your body expanding. As you exhale, squeeze the sit bones, scoop the belly, and see if the spine can release a little further into the pose. And then we're going to slowly make our way up to downward dog. If you need more time in child's pose, stay there. Otherwise, you can start to come into a downward dog where you're staying in that pose and breathing into it. So maybe if you feel like you still want to move, you can sway the hips from side to side, or you can bend one knee, straighten the other leg. We're going to be here for 5 breaths. So some of you will find that staying in the pose for 5 breaths and sending the hips and squeezing the belly really works for you. But some of you might be feeling you need to oil the joints a little bit and do some movements. So do that for a bit. Okay, so those of you who are used to practicing a plank pose, we're going to do a wave in and out of a plank. If you're still new to this, then I'd prefer you go onto your knees and practice holding a plank here, just for 3 breaths, and come back if you need to, and then hold back. So the rest of us will go into waving into a plank. So lift the heels, lengthen the tailbone, and wave your spine all the way forward into that plank, and then lifting back up to downward dog. Lift the heels, lengthen the tailbone, squeeze your belly. See if you can find your belly all the way up the front of the spine, coming into that plank. Lift with your belly back up to downward dog. And one more, lift the heels, lengthen the tailbone, scoop the belly. Find that belly to maneuver that pose forward. It initiates the movement, and then lifting back up again. Beautiful. All right, and then we're going to go into some sun salutations. So slowly making your way to the top of the mat. Try and lift your hips and swing your foot wherever it lands. Swing it, even if you have to bend it. Trying to make your way to the top of the mat, but trying to find this lift in the hips, squeeze in the belly. Nice bent knees in this forward fold. See how your hips feel about the forward fold right now. Press the feet into the earth, squeeze the sit bone, scoop the belly. And let's just take a little opening in the front with your knees bent. Soften the shoulders, lift and open. And then go into a forward bend again with an exhale. So squeeze the sit bone, scoop the belly, forward fold. And from here coming up, strong feet, strong legs, strong front of the body. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. And exhale. Okay, so sun salutation. Inhale, arms reach overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Soft knees, strong belly, scoop the belly. Inhale, open the heart. And on the exhale, feet to the back of the mat, all the way down through, press up to the earth, taking support from the knees as you need it. And inhale, cobra or upward dog. Exhale, make yourself nice and strong to come off the earth, downward dog. Just 3 breaths here today. So 1. As you exhale, see if you can find those strength points. Squeezing the sit bones, scooping the belly, sending the hips to the back of the mat.
Out.
And that's probably 3 by now. Inhale, looking up. Really practicing here, keeping the hips lifted and trying to bring that leg forward. And inhale, open the heart. Exhale, squeeze the sit bones, scoop the belly. And then bending the knees, strong feet, strong legs, strong belly. Inhale, arms overhead. And exhale. One more. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, open the heart, lengthening through the front of the body. Hands to the floor, step the feet to the back of the mat. Chaturanga, push up all the way to the earth. Inhale, cobra or upward dog. Make yourself strong before trying to push off. Making that plank with your core back to a downward dog. Waving the hips from side to side, nice deep breath. Press the hands into the floor as if you're pushing the mat away from you. Trying to develop that strength to push your hips to the back. You'll start to feel the weight coming onto the heels and more action in the back of the as it takes a little while, but scooping that belly, squeezing the sit bones, starts to develop that strength. And then looking forward, bring the shoulders over the wrists, lift the hips and bring the feet forward. Both feet to the front of the mat. Inhale, open the heart. And exhale. And then coming to standing, soft knees, strong legs, strong belly. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. And exhale. Sun salutation B. So you're going to bend the knees, coming into chair pose. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. Forward fold, exhale. Inhale, open the heart. Looking forward. Exhale, step to the back of the mat. Step or jump. Some of you will be jumping through your chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Keep the left heel on the floor, step the right foot forward, coming up with an inhale to a warrior one. Exhale, bring the hands down to the floor. Take your time with this. And then scoop your belly, lift the knee back to plank, all the way down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, roll over the toes, lift all the way up, downward dog. Slide the right heel to the floor, step the left foot forward. And on an inhale, coming all the way up. Try and press the feet evenly into the earth, so squeeze into the front of the mat. And exhale. Lifting the knee into the chest, coming down to the earth. Inhale, cobra. And exhale, downward dog. Working that downward dog, sending the hips back over the heels. Press the fingertips or the knuckles into the floor. Scoop the belly, lengthen the spine. And then looking forward, bringing the shoulders again over the wrists. This time we're going to practice coming into a little jump. So if you're not used to this, just bring the shoulders over the wrists and just do little jumps. Try and squeeze your belly. Those of you who are practicing a little more, you can try and pop the hip feet up. And then trying to make your way to the front of the mat. So just playing with that transition a little bit. Inhale, open the heart. Again, squeeze the sit bone, scoop the belly, forward fold. Hopefully those forward bends are feeling a little more juicy. Bend the knees, chair pose, fierce pose, and exhale. Samasthiti heat. So I think we're all warm enough right now. So you're going to step into our triangle poses. So stepping along the long side of your mat. Turn the right foot so that it's parallel to the long side, and the left foot is parallel to the short side. Or send the heel a little bit away. And just bend your knee a little bit, just see how much space you have in your hips. So have you stepped your feet a little too wide and you're feeling kind of fixed, then just shorten your stance a little bit. And see if you can squeeze your sit bones together and soften the knees a little bit. So you're not pressing the legs so that they're kind of rigid. They're strong and straight, but you're not sinking into your joints. Inhale, reach the arms up. And then we're going to lengthen that right hand over the foot, and then dropping the arm down and lifting your left arm up. From here, press the feet, squeeze the sit bones, scoop the belly, and open the heart. Just one breath here, just checking in with your range of motion as well, seeing how deep you can go without going too far. And then we're going to drop both arms over, so we're framing your head, reaching the arms, lift and lengthen the spine, coming into this core part of the pose. Beautiful. Squeeze the belly, bending that leg that you're going to, if you're feeling that you, if you're feeling that you're too high, you can bend the leg a little bit. And then slowly coming all the way up, and then turning to the other side. So just switch the feet to the same on the other side. But once you change sides again, check in with your hips. Make sure that you're not too fixed. All right. And then reaching now, the left hand up and over. So getting that space, getting that hip joint to be used to the shape. And then dropping the arm and lifting up with that top arm. See if you can now squeeze the sit bones, scoop the belly, and open the spine a little bit. So on your second breath, a good thing to remember here is pressing that base of the big toe so that you activate that inner part of the thigh, not leaning into the knee. And then if you're feeling stable, see if you can bring those arms into that different pose. So here you actually want to squeeze the top side of the body and lengthen the bottom side of the body. You're going to feel that in that leg. Press to the base of the big toe, getting that inner thigh involved. That's part of your core, getting that connection up into the hips there. And then slowly coming up and out. Beautiful. And we're going to step to the front of the mat. We're going to do our chair twist to get us ready for a triangle with a twist. So bending the knees, coming into chair, scoop the belly, lengthen the sides of the waist. Bringing the hands to the heart, squeeze your belly and see if you can drop the elbow to the opposite leg. So when you're there, now really try to connect your core. Squeeze your inner thigh, squeeze your sit bones, scoop the belly, and see if you've got a little bit of support there. You might find the space to open up the arms. Nice deep breath. Find your breath here and find that core connection. Even if your core is not having to work, you can really squeeze the belly and have big, deep exhales to really activate more action there and burn off or create some fire. And then slowly coming back. Inhale. If you need to straighten the legs, go for it. Otherwise, moving straight to the other side. Find that core connection. Squeeze the belly, spiral towards the outside of that other leg. Prayer pose. Again, this time, finding where your body has the range of motion. And you might find, oh, I can hang out here. Now really grab your core. So as you exhale, scoop the belly, spiral and exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Squeeze the sit bones, inner thighs, scoop the lower belly. Exhale. Maybe you find the openness to open the arms. You'll have to find some more core there too. Good. And then slowly unraveling, reach the arms. So I know this is challenging, guys. Well done. And coming back to standing, taking a nice deep breath. Summer is here. It's feeling hot. Okay, so now we're going to add those two poses. We're going to come into your triangle pose. So same as we did before. So you guys will be on your right foot, parallel to the long sides of the mat. And then you're going to turn the hips towards that right leg and come into a forward fold. Reach the left arm forward and then do your spiral at the same time. So we'll all land in different places. Squeeze the sit bones, scoop the belly, and start to breathe. Take a deep breath in. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Squeeze those sit bones, scoop the belly. Inhale. And exhale. Slowly coming up, press the feet into the earth. Find your core, reach the arm up and over, and moving to the other side. Good. Take your time to find these poses. You really want to find which parts are working and finding how you're developing strength, not just trying to copy the pose. So here, we really have to work hard to squeeze the hips to face that front left leg. And then you've got to squeeze the back of the hips and scoop the belly to support the forward fold. And then you've got to find that action in the belly to do the spiral. It really doesn't matter how much action you're getting as long as we're creating that connection with the different elements of the pose. So here you're in a spinal forward fold and a twist at the same time. So your core is getting a real ringing here. And even if you're finding it easy, you can still activate more core action. If you're finding it hard, that's great. You're developing strength. Exhale. And then slowly coming up and just facing that long side of the mat and then stepping to the front again. All right, and then we'll do our warriors. So stepping out again, you guys are going to start on your right side, coming into a nice warrior pose here. So reaching the arms up. Okay. If there's anyone who's got their video off, we're not on Facebook, so if you want me to see what you're doing and comment and help you, quickly put your video on so I can help, if you want it. All right, so then we're going to lean up and over, and this time we're going to try to bring that core stuff in here and reach both arms again. So you're going to really have to press through the feet and scoop the belly as you lengthen the spine over. Try to take 3 breaths here. You can always pop that arm down to help you. And 2. Exhale, press the feet, scoop the belly, squeeze those sit bones, get that lower core action. And 1 more breath. Inhale and exhale. And then bringing those arms back and coming all the way up and turning those feet to the other side. So I like these moving the feet around. Really get into your feet and move the toes and move the base of the big toe and the baby toe around so that you're really feeling your feet here. And then coming into that warrior pose, always checking in, does this side feel a little different? Does this hip, this hamstring, what's going on with my body? Can I bend the knee a little more and still keep my core engaged? Good, all right, then we're gonna lean towards that left leg, scooping the belly, lengthening the sides of the waist, and seeing if you want to add that arm lengthening. So basically just puts more lever onto the core here. If you want support, just drop the arm. And then one more full breath. So inhale and exhale. Squeeze the sit bones, scoop that lower belly, and slowly coming up again. Beautiful job. So let's leave the legs here. We're going to come into a forward fold. If you're not used to doing standing forward bends, I suggest you go to a wall and just lean onto the wall to support you. As you start to try and learn to put the weight into the toes, what a lot of us do is send the hips back, and then you're just bending the knees too, or you're not doing anything. So leaning forward, getting some action so that the legs have to pull upwards to keep your balance, keeping the hips above the ankles. So if you're in a bedroom or you're in a dining room, grab a chair, take that support and practice scooping the belly and squeeze the sit bones and letting the head relax and the shoulders relax. It's very different for everybody. Some people can do hands to the earth quite easily. Some people it takes 25 years to get there. So always take modifications and support. You can also bend these knees. As long as you're leaning into the toes and squeezing the sit bones and scooping the belly, you are going to get action in the back of the legs, which is what we like to see. Nice deep breath. And then always the coming out is part of the pose. So press the feet, engage your core, keep the legs strong, and come all the way up. Let's reach the arms overhead and exhale. Then we'll do that again. If you're finding the forward bends a little bit challenging, let's go straight back into that one and take support and just breathe there. But if you want to add something different, you can bring the hands behind you, interlacing the fingers. Lengthen the tailbone, lift and open the heart. And then as you're coming forward, remember to press the feet. Also try to squeeze the heels towards each other. Scoop the belly, squeeze the sit bones. Get that leg action involved. And releasing towards the earth. As I said, if you find this is a little too uncomfortable, just undo the arms and find support from a wall. Lean into the toes. Press the feet into the earth. Squeeze the sit bones, scoop the belly. Let the spine release. And then to come out, press through the feet, strong legs, strong belly, front of the body pushes you up. Inhale, the arms up overhead, and then exhale and step to the front of the mat. Beautiful. All right, so today for balancing, we're going to still stick with our functioning core, which is usually meaning that we're moving. Okay, so we're going to lift up your right knee, squeeze the hips so that you've got a nice hip lock going on, no sitting into that left hip. Okay, and today we're going to practice sending that leg back into a warrior and then scooping your belly and squeezing that knee back up to your chest. So you can also choose to reach your arms and exhale. So it's an inhale, reach. You can keep the hands on the hips. Exhale, scoop the lengthen the tailbone, scoop the belly, lift the knee. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, 3 more. Exhale. Inhale, exhale, and inhale, and exhale, and placing that leg down again. Okay, so trying another one. So just remember with that standing, we don't want this leaning into the hip, right? This keeping everything centered is all part of this functional core part. So practice here, scooping, lengthen the tailbone, and scooping the belly to lift the knee in that last part. So on your inhale, reach the leg behind, keep the hips square. Exhale, lengthen tailbone, scoop belly, squeeze the knee, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. One more. Exhale, and place the foot down and just walk the legs a little bit. Okay. All right. Okay, so now we're just going to do a little bit of a squat. So we're going to open the knees and slowly come down, seeing if that's available to you, and then coming up to standing. So if you're finding that that's a little tricky, I'd like you to come onto the earth and sit with the feet on the floor and just sit here, just getting those hips into that shape. Because I'm aware that it takes quite a lot to be going right to be able to do this. So bend the knees and then come up, press the feet, scoop the belly. And bend the knees, press the feet, find your belly help in this. You don't want to just be using the legs, you want to find that core strength here. Squeeze and lift that lower belly. Good. And one more. And then even if you're on the floor, let's make our way up to standing again. We've just warmed up bending our legs. We're going to try another one, right? So we're going to lengthen the leg behind you. And then you're going to tuck the knee behind that front leg. Put the foot down on the floor and see if you can come down to the earth. So pieces on a boat. I'm not sure you should be doing this. All right, and we're going to do 3 of those. You're going to come up again. So if you're really finding that your core still needs to work on this, lean forward, use that, and come up until you've got the strength. Okay. If you're sitting this one out, come sit on the earth like this and wait for us. It's a perfectly beautiful place to wait. Stepping all the way up. And then we are all going to end, whoops, all the way down on the earth. Well done, guys. Nice. And then staying in this little twist. So I can't see everybody, but where we all are, you should have one leg bent over the other. And just taking a nice deep breath. Drop the hands next to your waist. Take a nice deep breath here. Okay, so looking at this knee at the front of you, if this knee is your left leg, you're going to turn to the right. If this knee is your right leg, you're going to turn to the left. And put the hands down next to you and walk all the way around into a downward dog. And if that didn't work for you, just find a downward dog, however. Nice. All right, and then we're going to walk to the front of the mat and do that on the other side. Bend the knees, strong legs, strong belly. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. And exhale. And then we're going to do your left leg. So just slowly reaching into that little warrior. Bend the knee, drop. So you want to work up to not using that bended, that back leg so much, and also not leaning. You want to start working towards doing it without using momentum. I'm aware that that takes time, but you can take support with that foot down there. And only 3 of these, unless you really want to do more, then quickly you can shove those in. And then we're all going to meet at the bottom and sit in this lovely twist. Nice deep breath. Just with the hands next to you. So always in these seated poses where we change our legs, it's very useful to still stay with squeezing your sit bones and scooping your belly and seeing how that changes the action in your legs. Because what we're really trying to do is connect that whole inner line of the leg with your deep running core. And then whichever leg is on the top, turning away from it, placing the hands down and walking your way into a little downward dog again. And then slowly putting those knees down onto the earth and tuck the toes and sitting on your haunches. So again, you might want to put something underneath your thighs. And just taking a nice deep breath, interlacing the fingers, pushing the palms away, reaching the arms overhead. Nice deep breath. And then releasing those fingertips, dropping the hands behind you again, interlace, turn the palms away from you, and coming into a lift or forward bend. Don't push through the arms. So if the shoulders are feeling uncomfortable, just undo the hands and drop the hands behind you. But if you're enjoying that shoulder stretch, then by all means stay. If you've dropped the hands, feel the front of the shoulders just drop towards the earth and let the head rest on the floor. And slowly coming back up to seated and just taking some breaths here. Just practicing when you exhale, drawing the navel into the spine. Just do 5 of those, nice and strong. Inhale, exhale, and inhale, and exhale, and inhale, and exhale. All right, and then slowly moving onto your bum, giving yourself space for you to lie down eventually, but we're going to stay here for a moment. So this is really an arm balance prepper. So we're going to bend the knees and reach the arms forward. And this might feel like not much is going on. So it's really up to you to create the strength in this pose. You're going to squeeze the sit bones and push the sit bones towards your heels and round the back and push with your belly muscles to round the back as far back as possible and reach the fingertips forward. And really finding that exhale and squeezing your belly and then coming up again. So you can do that 2 more times with 4 breaths on each. And this is a nice opportunity for anybody who's practicing arm balances to quickly pop up and practice your arm balance, because you're going to be doing the same thing. You're going to be sending your hands forward and lifting your spine away from the earth. So can you guys see how that's a very similar action? So you're going to then try and do your crow and lift the spine from those arms pushing forward. But obviously, if you haven't been practicing this, this is a great way to prep. And you can, if you want to, practice with the knees apart as well, because that gives you, and you can push the knees onto the arms. Good job. Really trying to find that connection with the core there. So I know sometimes you're doing these exercises, you're like, I have no idea what's going on. Just keep trying to find the connection and that finding of the muscles all the way up the spine. Good. See a few crows going on. I see lots of core work happening. Nice. Good job. Okay, and then those of you who are practicing crow, if you feel you've got the energy to come into, we did quite a lot of twist press. You can bring both hands onto that one side and see if you've got a little twisted crow going on. Just give yourself 2 of those. Those of us who are on the floor, we're going to bend the right knee and straighten the left leg and take your right hand behind you, lifting the left arm up and spiral towards that right leg, coming into a nice twist here. So when we do these twists, I really want you to find that core action again. So squeeze the sit bones, scoop the belly. And we do 5 breaths here. So just doing another 2. Inhale, exhale, and inhale, and exhale, beautiful. And then coming back to center and switching the legs around. Those of you who did crow, I hope you did both sides, the twisted crow. Taking now the left hand behind you, slide that shoulder blade, reach the right arm forward, scoop the belly and spiral, and then coming up into the twist. So you could be anywhere here. You could even be on the inside here, just moving towards finding more mobility in your spine. These poses are not about what the pose looks like. It's about how you're feeling and creating that space in your body. So your spine is obviously super important. So we want to get more blood flow, more space, more fluid going on here. And one more breath. Find that core action and exhale. Beautiful. And nice gentle unwind. You'll know when you're coming out if you've gone too far, because you'll be like, all right. So opening the knees apart. And this is the beauty of home practice here. Those of you in these seated poses, if you find that your back kind of drops back and you haven't got that lift yet, you can always use the wall. And then that helps to let the back lengthen onto something. And then you start finding the knees start to relax a little bit because you're not doing that holding in the back. So playing with that a little bit with all your forward bends just helps to give you a different perspective because there's always a lot going on in every pose. Nice deep breath. As you exhale, maybe smile. Try that again. Inhale. And a nice smile. And then reaching the legs out in front of you. Coming into Dandasana. Again, you could also stay here at the wall. It's often a nice thing to have something tactile to show you what your spine's actually doing. Pulling the toes towards you and spread the toes and then try to lift your spine away from the earth. So imagine you were me on the wall trying to lengthen the spine all the way up, not arching the back, lifting that diaphragm, lower rib cage in and up. Good, and then we're going to do a little back bend. So you can choose to bend your knees or keep the legs straight. If the legs are straight, try to point the toes. Step the hands back a little bit, lengthen the tailbone, and really try and lift your hips and open the heart. If that's feeling a little too much, bend the knees, but really try to lengthen tailbone and lift the hips and try and open the heart. Try and squeeze those inner thighs so the knees don't fall open. And then slowly coming down again. So we're going to do 3 of those. So you're going to lift up. Those of you who want to add a little bit of core here, you can squeeze and scoop your bum through your arms and then lift up again. So do 3 of those. If you're like, Cayley, I'm done, maybe just lie on your back for a second. Your practice. Scooping the belly through, good. And then coming back to center. All right, and then just bend the knees and wrap your arms around your knees, dropping your chin, giving yourself a nice hug. Well done. And I know I'm like a broken record, but even in this pose, you can really get a tactile sense of pulling your belly away from the thighs. Really trying to get that skill of hollowing the belly in towards the spine, creating space between the vertebrae, creating that support all the way up the spine. All right, and then we're going to move down to the mat and move into shoulder stand. So those of you who are panicking and don't know what a shoulder stand is or don't want to do one, you can also move towards a wall or even a bed and pop the feet up and just practice lifting your hips up like this, even if it's just up and down a few times. That helps develop this core strength. If you're somewhere in between, you can lift one leg up. Just practicing here for a bit, and those of you who are used to practicing shoulder stand, you can go wild. I'll be seeing what's going on. Make sure those necks are nice and safe that all the weight is in the upper arm and onto the shoulder. Shoulder stand, not a neck stand. Yeah, make sure those ponytails are out the way. That's a definite shoulder stand killer. And then there's always legs up the wall or lying on your back, just lifting the legs up above you. What we're just trying to do is get the feet above the heart, changing our circulation a little bit, very relaxing. And if you've got a chair or a bed, this is the best pose ever. Bent knees, lying flat on your back. Actually, you can't see my bed, so you actually ideally want the knees on there. Lying flat on your back, letting the arms open, shoulders relaxed, shoulders. Sorry for those of you in shoulder stand, because this is more of a relaxing pose. So if you're in shoulder stand, you're lifting the legs up and lengthening the sides of the waist, spreading the toes, engaging the core. And to come out, the legs go behind, lengthening the back, drop the feet behind, maybe the toes find the earth. Again, scoop and find the core. And then slowly squeezing those legs towards your face, really trying to squeeze, keeping the legs as close to you as possible. It helps you get a nice spinal massage and really connect those core muscles. And then everyone slowly, if you've got your feet up or you're up on the wall, just stay there with the legs elevated. And if you're on your mat, just coming to knees bent. And choose for yourself, do you want to drop your knees together, feet apart? Or do you want to drop the feet together, knees apart? Opening the arms, opening the shoulders. Take a nice deep breath in. And exhale. Allow the shoulders to release. Spine releases. Nice deep breath in. Exhale. And then we're going to drop both knees to one side. So you can draw them up towards you and coming into a little spinal twist. So here we really just want to be able to release into the earth. We don't want too much action going on here. So choose a shape that you feel like your body can completely sink into the floor. If that's not happening, you can drop one leg down. You can move from side to side as you start to develop that range of motion. If you've got cushions, putting them in between the legs, supporting that top leg often helps, or even underneath both of them if you're feeling the twist is too much in the spine. Take a deep breath. As you transition over, find your core to support the legs coming up. Just before you drop to the other side, let's open the knees apart and rock from side to side. See if this gives you a nice massage on your lower back. Doesn't happen for everyone, but I really love this kind of lower back sacrum, getting a little bit of a massage. And then up and over to the other side. So again, if you need support, you can pop a blanket underneath that bottom leg, so going the other side, or in between the legs here. Or you can change the legs. Sometimes drawing them closer to you helps a little bit too, but definitely finding a place that allows you to release. So you're not holding anymore, you're not challenging, you've done your work. Now it's time to allow your body to digest all the poses and restore. So lots of deep breathing. Trying to allow any areas that you notice that are holding tension. Don't put pressure on yourself to relax completely. Rather just do little increments. Go on my right shoulder. I'm going to relax 2%. And then again, coming back to center. This time bend the knees, keep the knees open and bend the knees towards your shoulders and then lift the feet up. So you might hold onto the back of the knees, some might hold onto the toes, and again, just coming into that deep flex in the hips. Puts quite a bit of pressure on the spine, but I'm hoping that that feels good. If it doesn't feel good, drop the feet down and just sit with the knees bent or knees drawn into your belly. And then slowly releasing the legs, drop the feet to the floor and straightening those legs out. Slowly coming into your choice of Shavasana. So if you want to put knees, feet up the wall or bend your knees, check in with the lower back. So often when we do a lot of core work, the lower back is our first sign that we might have overdone it. In that case, definitely pop the feet up on a chair or bed with nice support. And just lie like that for resting pose. Taking a nice deep breath. As you exhale, see if you can allow tension to leave your body. Take a deep breath in. And exhale. And see if this last one, you can take a nice deep breath in, and as you exhale, smiling, allowing your body to release. Staying in Shavasana, allowing the right leg to become heavy. And the left leg becomes heavy. Feel the hips releasing, sinking into the earth. Feel your spine melting into the floor.
We went through why we started to drop drama and not become friends. So don't
Feel the right shoulder relaxing, the left shoulder relaxing. The arms become heavy.
One of the articles said that Chase tried to DM Nessa, and that was it. And then I made a full-on diss track of us. But guys, I'm not that bad. God, if you do it, I'm like, you know what I'm saying?
Bring your hands over your heart and rubbing your palms together. Make a little bit of heat. And then place the hands over your eyes. So some of you are still lying down. Stay there. Take a nice deep breath. See if you can feel the eyes and cheekbones relaxing. And then inhale, reaching the arms up overhead behind you. Exhale, drawing the knees into the chest and rolling onto your side if you're still lying on your back. And taking your time to come back up. Just take a moment to feel the effects of your practice, congratulating yourself for showing up today. And bring your hands to your heart. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you everyone for joining. It's so lovely to see you all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
Thank
Apparently
you.
I'm supposed to take a photo of all of us. I have no idea. Oh, hi Valerie.
I was there.
How are you?
Good, thank you.
Oh, lovely.
Very nice, thank you.
Thank you.
What is mine is.
Are you doing that every day?
We do have classes nearly every day. So April does classes in the morning and I'm doing 4:30 on Monday and Thursday.
Okay.
If you guys want, let us know what you need. We're trying to support as much as possible. So if you need more classes, let us know. There's enough who want to do it. Hi, Ola. Yeah, so just give us feedback. Let us know how we can support your yoga practice.
All right.
It's nice to see everyone in their homes again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a nice day. Bye. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye. Have a nice day. Bye. Bye.